Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and today we have a huge video. I'm going to be going over all the stats you need to know about quarterback Jayden Daniels, the advanced one. This is very important stuff, so make sure you guys stay tuned till the end. Gonna also be doing one on Drake May in the next couple of days. If you guys are new, please subscribe. Trying to get to 13,000 subscribers by the end of the month. We're close. Also with that like button, that notification bell as well. Comment down below who you want the Commanders to take at 2. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the last few days has been a bunch of different rumors, as we expected, with the draft about to start. We're in peak smokescreen season, but we got the Jayden Daniels, agent stuff going on, and the rumor about the report that all of the quarterbacks are meeting together, and then Jayden Daniels' agent but he kind of implied that he didn't like it. Whatever. That was talked about in yesterday's video, but today I just want to focus on the player and go over some basic stats first, which is going to be this, but I want to go into the advanced stats, the pressure rates, his percentage of, or completion percentage on deep balls, stuff like that. That's very important. Pressure to sack ratio. So real quick, the simple stuff: 3,800 passing yards, 72.2% completion percentage, 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 10 rushing touchdowns, 1,100 plus rushing yards. Insane season this past year. 46.4 points per game on offense, PFF grade of about 95, 8% big time throw rate, 1.6% TWP, not completely sure what that is. Maybe throw with pressure rate. I really don't know. Led all QBs in QBR. I don't really care about QBR. 95.6, but still good to lead it. And then second best is Bo Nix at 91. So those are the basic stats. We all know, that's amazing, and we've all seen these stats before. And his last year was his best year by far, and that's, for some people that's a good thing. Some people it's a bad thing that he only had one really good year, and you point to guys in the past like Zach Wilson, who had a breakout year in his last year and then went to the draft. But there's also guys like Joe Burrow who had really only had one good year. But let's look at some stats. So first, deep ball completion percentage by year. So bad 2019, I guess not bad, not bad. 32nd. For a freshman, that's actually very good. I don't know what I'm saying. That's good. 23.5 in 2020. That is bad. 2021, and I don't think he played many games, so that's probably why it's so low and did not qualify. Very low, sample size. And shout out to Jared. He helped me out with some of these stats. On Twitter, shout out to him. Been a long time supporter of the channel, and back and forth on Twitter a lot, getting some of his takes. So appreciate him for some of these stats. 2021, 40%, which is 55 or 55th in FBS, not great. And then 41% in 2022, which is 44th, and then 63.6% in 2023, which is absolutely amazing, which was first. It did help that he had Brian Thomas, he had Malik Neighbors, he also had another guy. It's probably going to be a first-round pick next year, but still had a very good season throwing the deep ball. I think from what I've seen, his deep ball is absolutely amazing. I think that's one of the best things about him is his deep ball accuracy. And if we draft him, that's going to be one of the things, besides his legs, that I'm most excited about. Let's go to another stat. This is just a bunch of different things that you guys can see. So, just everything right here. Deep grade, I think that's interception attempt percentage. Intermediate, I think. Intermediate attempt percentage, 22%. So that's for Caleb Williams. You look at Jayden Daniels, deep is for about 14%. Intermediate is about 21%. His intermediate grade is a little bit below the other guys. Caleb, and this is PFF, so you got to take it with a grain of salt. 88, 86, 90. So the lowest of the top guys besides Bo Nix. Short attempt percentage was about, 42%, which is pretty high. And the grade was very low on that. So his short stuff, I've been seeing it for a while. It's concerning, or it's probably the worst part of his game is his short accuracy, at least in my opinion. That's what I would say. But his deep ball is good in my opinion for sure. And let's see, short grade, yeah, you see 68.6 there. And MOF, again, so I don't know all these stats. PS2, pressure to sack percentage ratio, or not ratio, pass to sack ratio, or pressure to sack ratio, sorry, all over the place there, but pressure to sack ratio, you see the different percentages. You want a lower number, that's really what you're looking for. Jayden Daniels, 24.5, so that is a high number. That's one of the biggest knocks on him is his pressure to sack percentage, and it is very high, 24.5. You look at some of the other guys, Michael Penix, very low. Spencer Rattler, kind of high. Not high, but not super low. And then you got Caleb and Drake that are kind of in the middle. And usually you want to be around under 20%. And it has been a good indicator, maybe of not guys being good, but a lot of the guys that have been major busts recently have been guys with very high PS2 ratings. So just something to keep in mind. It's not the end all be all of everything. Scramble rate's high, 14%. That is expected. I mean, he's a running quarterback, and that's one of the biggest advantages of him is how he uses his legs and how he's able to extend plays and really turn maybe a 3rd and 16 into a first down. Not a lot of guys can do that. He can do that. And you can, I also didn't even see this, but the stats right here on average successful QB, and the successful part's probably a little bit subjective, but you see some of the numbers here, and you can look at how they stack up against, guys like really Drake, May, and Jayden Daniels. That's who we're looking at right here. You see this right here, average successful quarterback, 87.2, average intermediate grade, Jayden Daniels, 83. There's a bunch of other stats you can look at. The quarterback, or the PS2 is 15.7. So a lot of these guys don't pass that test besides J.J. McCarthy and Bo Nix and Michael Penix. But all this number and all these other numbers, there are exceptions. So you don't have to be like, oh, just because this guy doesn't qualify for this stat doesn't mean means he's not going to be a good player. Just don't. Let's see. This is a good stat. When blitzed in 2023 was 69 of 97, 71.1% completion percentage, 1,072 yards. YPA, and then 17 touchdowns, no interceptions. Yards per attempt, I guess. I don't know. 17, no touchdowns. So when you blitz them, usually good things happen. And I'm sure he also ran for some yards as well. There's probably some sacks in there, but he also ran for some yards as well, I'm assuming. Here is some guys, and sorry for the background. I couldn't get all this in one, so you might be seeing some of my Twitter or whatever, X DMs. But you see here some of the top 10 improvements in final year. You got really one good name here, and the rest are question marks besides the guys obviously going in this year. These are the biggest EPA improvements in the final year. So the biggest was Joe Burrow, which is a difference of 0.38 from, or 0.39, sorry, from 2018 to 2019. Zach Wilson had a big difference as well. I guess they tied for the same, and it didn't work out so far in New York. And then you got Jayden Daniels, big difference from 2022 to 2023. You see the other names: Nathan Peterman, Kenny Pickett, Mason Rudolph, Kyle Trask, Spencer Rattler, who's this year, Will Greer, Bo Nix. So a lot of those guys didn't work out, but Joe Burrow did, and they went to the same school. And people are going to be like, well, Jayden Daniels had great receivers. Well, so did Joe Burrow. He had Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall as well. Here are the stats I really enjoy. So there's some fun facts you guys can see. Shout out to The Ringer here for this great article. Shout out whoever wrote it in a second. Only player in FBS history with 12,000 passing yards and 3,000 rushing yards. Only player in FBS history to 350 plus yards and rush for 200 plus. So I guess I was passing and then rushing. His father played DB at Washington and Iowa State. You guys can see some of the rest there. Favorite Southern foods are gumbo and jambalaya. These are the stats I want to look at right here. So Pinpoint percentage, 66.8%. Not going to lie, I don't really know what that means. 9.7 air yards per attempt. Drop percentage, I'm assuming that's the percentage of his passes that are dropped. 6%. Interceptable percentage, 4.5. And then yards after catch percentage, 43.2. So I think that is a big stat to look at. And I'm not going to, do a full comparison here because I'm going to make a full separate video on it. But I do want to see Drake's number on that, the yak number. I think that is an important number for sure. Let's see. So 32.8 percentage. Obviously, you don't want to see a super high number because that usually means your receivers are making a lot of the plays for you. And that was the case in certain situations here, but just going to go down here. And then you see these are some good stats. So pressure response, 36.7% of the time he stood and delivered a pass. Not very high. 23.3% of the time he took a sack. Pretty high. 18% of the time he escaped. 18% of the time he scrambled. And 3.3% of the time he threw away. As you guys will see, and you might have saw when I looked at Drake, man, you know what? I can pull it up again if you're watching until the end because this is, kind of close to the end of the video. You guys deserve to see a little preview here. You see Drake's, numbers are very, very different. Throwaways higher, scrambles lower, which, is expected because Jayden is more of a scrambler, but the take a sack is much lower and stand and deliver is much higher, which you like to see for Drake and not for Jayden. Let's go ahead and go back to Jayden here. But yeah, those are the stats there. You look at his situational pinpoint percentage. So progressions on his first read, he was, had a 70.5% completion percentage. Beyond his first read, 46.3. Launch point in the pocket, 67%. Out of pocket, 64.3. So even out of the pocket, he's still able to complete at a high percentage. And I'm guessing this is all 5 years, not just the last season. Pressure. So that's something you have to keep in mind as well. A lot of these stats that you're looking at are his combined stats. So some of them are better, or a lot of them are better in 2023. Some of them are still concerning, like the pressure to sack ratio is still not very good, but overall his numbers are much better in 2023 to 2024. Pressure, clean pressure, you got 60, or clean pocket, I guess 68.6 percentage or 6%, and then 60.9 when pressured, and the window clear 70, tight window 51.6, and this is kind of his pinpoint percentage and heat map. So deep middle, very good, and then deep left, deep right, okay. You see, intermediate right, very good. Intermediate middle, okay. Intermediate left, good. And then you can see some of his other stuff right here. And he basically wrote a little paragraph saying, I don't think I've seen anything quite like Daniel's pressure response numbers. He stood in the face of pressure and delivered a pass on just over 1 out of every 3 dropbacks. It's an absurd number. He took a sack on 23% of the dropbacks I charted, which is significantly ahead of second worst J.D. McCarthy at 18.3. So those are all the stats I wanted to go over. I'm sure there's some I'm missing. We went over some good stats, of course, like these ones right here. Some of the deep ball numbers in 2023. We went over some of the stuff here that's good, and we went over some bad stuff as well. There's some really good. There's some really bad with Jayden Daniels, and the analytics kind of show to favor Drake May, but obviously great. And I just spilled my water everywhere. If you're watching till the end, well, you get to see my live reaction to that. But the analytics favor Drake May, and that it is what it is. The film, on the other hand, I think favors Jayden Daniels. From what I've seen, and I'm not a film expert, but I've also heard that from a lot of people, at least in 2023, Jayden Daniels' film was better than Drake May. So it's not all about the stats, but it is, one piece of the puzzle. So that's it for today's video. If you guys stay till the end, go ahead and comment down below. Comment down below your favorite Commanders signing this offseason, and I'll tell you if I agree or not. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.